I'm 52 years old, and my phone still buzzes a little different on Sunday afternoons. Not because anything's calling, because for 30 years, something always did. Around 4 o'clock, without fail, my father called. Didn't matter if I was at a barbecue, at Christine's kids' soccer game, half asleep on the couch after working a Saturday shift. 4 o'clock, the phone lit up with pop, and I answered. We didn't talk about much, weather, the Steelers, whatever was wrong with his knee that week. 15 minutes, sometimes less. It's been 6 months since the last one. The phone still does that thing at 4 o'clock on Sundays, where I catch myself glancing at it before I remember there's nothing coming. I never thought of it as a big deal while it was happening. 30 years of a 15-minute phone call doesn't feel like anything when you're inside it. You only see the shape of it once it stops. I've got one voicemail left from him. I haven't deleted it. I don't know if I ever will. The voicemail is 11 seconds long. He left it back in October, 4 months before he died. On a Sunday, I'd missed his call because I was in a meeting that ran long. Nothing special about it. That's what gets me most, actually. There was no way for either of us to know it'd end up being the one I kept. Hey, it's your father. Just checking in. Call me when you get a chance. Love you, bud. That's the whole thing. Love you, bud. He said it every single call, tacked on at the end like a period at the end of a sentence. So automatic, I don't think either of us ever really heard it anymore. Now it's the only voice I have left of him, and it's 11 seconds of him doing the most ordinary thing he ever did. I've listened to it maybe 30 times since January. I know exactly how long the pause is before love you, bud. I know the small catch in his throat that was probably just him clearing it, nothing more. And I've turned that half second into something bigger than it probably ever was, because it's what I've got. Christine asked me a few weeks after the funeral if I still had any voicemails saved. I told her no. That was a lie. I don't know why I said it. Maybe because admitting I had one made it real that I needed it. Made it real that somewhere in me, I was scared of losing the sound of his voice the same way I'd already lost the rest of him. My phone storage has been nagging me for months to clear space, and every time that little warning pops up, I go straight to that voicemail folder and just stop, stare at it, close the app. I reorganized his garage instead the weekend after the funeral. Spent 6 hours out there sorting screws into little jars he'd never bothered to sort himself. Like getting his tools in order was something I could actually finish, unlike everything else. Christine came by at the end of it and just stood in the doorway watching me work. She didn't say anything about the voicemail again. I think she already knew. Sunday calls started the year I moved out, 1996, 22 years old, and renting a one-bedroom 15 minutes from where I'd grown up. My mother was the one who used to call back then. Pop wasn't much of a phone guy. But after she passed in 2015, somebody had to keep it going, and it turned out to be him. The first few calls after Mom died were rough, both of us fumbling around a habit that used to belong to her. But he kept calling. Every Sunday, 4 o'clock. Like he'd decided somewhere along the way that this was how he was going to keep showing up for me, now that showing up in person got harder with his knees the way they were. I can still hear the sound of his recliner creaking when he shifted around mid-call. The TV low in the background, always the game, always turned down just enough so he could half watch and half listen to me at the same time. 30 years of that particular kind of static. I didn't know, back then, that I was memorizing something. You never do while it's happening. Christine's been better at this than me, if I'm honest. She goes to the cemetery every couple weeks, brings flowers, talks to him like he's still got a phone line open somewhere. You don't have to keep it if it hurts too much, she told me one night, back at her place for dinner. The voicemail thing finally out in the open between us. Nobody's grading how you grieve, Mark. I told her it didn't hurt exactly. It was more like, I didn't know who I was on Sundays anymore, without the call to build the day around. 4 o'clock used to be a landmark. Now it's just an hour like any other, and something about that felt like the second loss. Quieter than the first one, but somehow harder to explain to people. She didn't have an answer for that, just reached over and took the roll off my plate. The way she's done since we were kids. Some old sibling shorthand neither of us ever bothered to grow out of. It was the closest thing to comfort either of us knew how to offer that night. It took me until June, 5 months in, to sit down and actually think about what those calls had been, instead of just missing the sound of them. I was cleaning out a box of his old stuff Christine and I hadn't gotten to yet, found a little spiral notebook, half filled, in his handwriting. Turned out it was notes. Things to ask me about. Things to remember to tell me. Ask Mark how the new job's going. Tell him about the leak in the basement. Remind him, dentist follow-up, ask if he went. My father wrote himself notes before he called me. 30 years, and I never once knew that. I sat on the floor of his garage with that notebook a long time, the light going orange through the window the way it does in early evening, and something in me that had been braced this whole time finally just let go. Not all at once, just enough to notice it happening. I understood something that day I hadn't let myself see while he was alive. Those calls were never really about the Steelers, or his knee, or whatever small thing filled the 15 minutes. They were the one place my father let himself need something from me. My voice, my time, proof that the kid he raised was still out there, still doing all right. He wasn't a man who said much, but he wrote himself a list every single week, so he wouldn't run out of reasons to keep me on the phone a little longer. Love you, bud. Wasn't automatic at all. I'd had that backwards the whole time. It was the one thing in the whole call he never needed a note to remember. I sat with that notebook until it got dark in the garage, and for the first time since January, I didn't feel the loss like a wall I was standing in front of. I felt it like something I'd actually been given. 30 years of a man finding his own quiet way of saying he loved me, week after week, long after the easy words for it had stopped coming natural to him. I still haven't deleted the voicemail. I don't think I ever will, and I've stopped feeling like that's something to fix about myself. What's changed is what I do with it. I used to play it just to feel the loss again, almost like picking at something to make sure it still hurt. Now, every so often, not every Sunday, but sometimes, I'll play it just to hear him say it. Not to grieve, just to remember I was loved by somebody who didn't always have the words for it until the very last second of a phone call. If you've got a voicemail like that sitting in your phone, one you can't bring yourself to delete and don't fully know why, I don't think there's anything wrong with you for keeping it. Some people leave letters. Some people leave notebooks nobody finds till months later. My father left 11 seconds, and it turned out to be enough. Sundays are different now, but they're not empty the way they were at first. I found Pop's notebook again a few weeks after that day in the garage and started one of my own. Nothing formal, just a little pad by my phone where I jot down what I want to tell Christine when I call her, now that she's the one I check in with most weeks. Turns out it's a decent habit to have. Keeps you actually paying attention to somebody's life instead of just filling air. 4 o'clock still catches me sometimes. Probably always will. But it stopped being a reminder of what's missing and started being something closer to a small appointment I keep with his memory. The game on low somewhere in the back of my mind. A recliner creaking that isn't there anymore. And 11 seconds of his voice I know by heart now. word for word, pause for pause. I played the voicemail again last Sunday. 4 o'clock, out of habit, sitting in my own living room with the game on low, same as he used to have it. "Hey, it's your father. Just checking in. Call me when you get a chance." There's that pause. The one I used to think meant something was wrong. I don't hear it that way anymore. I think it was just him deciding one more time that he wasn't going to let me go without saying it. Love you, bud. 11 seconds, 30 years behind it. I don't need to call anybody back this Sunday. And for the first time in a long while, that's all right. Some conversations don't end when the calls stop. They just change shape, and you carry them differently. Quieter, but somehow still yours to keep.